Hello YouTube! So today I'm talking about gear in general. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, my videos have slowed down a little bit. I've just got bored of the whole, buying stuff, doing a demo on it and then possibly selling it, more than likely selling it on to buy something else. We've come to a point where I think everybody knows that collecting gear, any type of gear, that could be a custom shop guitar, or that could be, something else. Let's say, I collect key rings, something like that, or something which was probably, worth money years ago, and it was classed as vintage and collectible. And people, people collect these old Boss pedals, and I've had a few old Boss pedals on the channel. Yeah, I don't own any of them pedals anymore. I just think the whole thing now is nobody's collecting anything anymore. Nobody's collecting old pedals, vintage pedals, because the truth is, they don't sound any better than good quality new pedals. I mean, doesn't sound any better than a Boss Wazacraft, a modern Japan pedal. And again, it doesn't matter where it's made as well. Boss make very, very good quality pedals. And we've come to a point where most people they buy what they need, and I think that's mainly because of the way the world has gone, and the how expensive it is to live, especially in the UK where I am. Obviously, other countries it's cheaper to live in Europe and stuff. But what I'm saying is that nobody is collecting. Majority as a whole, nobody's collecting anymore. So, if you have old guitars, vintage guitars, say like Tokais and stuff like that, early ones, you probably better to sell them now before it's too late. Because I think, and I've looked at things as well, what things have sold for. Things have devalued massively, and they've just dropped and dropped and dropped. So you might be better to sell your old Tokai, or that was just an example, or your old Ibanez now, or your early Fender USA, whatever it is. You might be best to sell it now before it drops and before it's too late. And when I say it's too late, it's not worth as much as you thought it would be worth. So a few years ago, I mean, things like that were going for a lot of money. Anything 80s by Fender, it was going for a lot of money. But nowadays, people don't care about collecting. I'm not saying these guitars are bad, but I'm saying is that people are being people are being a realist, and they're buying good quality, expensive stuff now, or they go and buy, mid-range stuff like PRS, SEs and standard Mexican stuff, which again, there's nothing wrong with it. The quality control of new guitars is superb. So most brands, good quality, cheap guitars are good. And yeah, it's just the world we live in today, really. So I just wanted to do a little video on this. And it makes YouTube very difficult because things are harder to sell. So people who are relying on doing videos and doing it for a full-time living, they are really struggling with this whole thing. And I don't rely on it. It's purely for the love of music really, and my interest in guitars and gear. I still am interested in gear, but I've set a rule for my own good as well, because I get carried away as well buying as much as a lot of people would do. So I have these guitars, and these are the guitars I've not sold, and I'm going to go through different reasons why I haven't sold these items, and also why I've kept these certain pedals. Like I said, any vintage pedal now, any vintage pedal by Boss or MXR I've had on the channel, I've just got rid, because for one, it doesn't sound quite right. Two, more than likely needs to run on a different power supply, or you have to buy a 12-volt power supply, you know, with your vintage pedal. It's just all a bit of a faff, and because it's old, it's gonna probably more than likely let you down when you're on the road. I actually gig my equipment. I'm not a collector where I'm collecting it and it's sitting in a case, you know. I'm actually playing the gear live. I'm a musician. So this is my first guitar I'm going to show you on the channel, and this guitar has been on the channel for lots and lots of years. So the story of this, it was given to me by my father. He found it because he's like a market trader. So he got hold of it in the game, brought it home, asked me what I thought of it. As soon as I picked it up, it was dusty and everything. I just fell in love with it, and I ended up taking it home, and it was my Christmas present basically from my father. So this guitar has done so many gigs. It's been refretted with jumbo frets. The original frets are worn out. It's been set up lots of times. It's been well maintained. It's actually just come back from being serviced as well. And every time I pick it up, I just think, what a guitar. You know what I mean? It's got 11s back on it. It's just a fantastic guitar. Yeah, I mean, it's had a few replacement parts. They've worn out over time, but you know, it's from 1987, and as long as it works and it feels right to me, that's all that matters to me. So it's a great guitar. So I've never ever sold that guitar. Let's move on. So that guitar is made in Japan and Korea. It has a mixture of parts, but it was actually probably ensembled in Korea. But it has a solid body, and the tuning pegs are all original. The pickups are not original anymore. The original pickups died in the end. I worn them out. They didn't sound bad. The guitar always sounded good. Right, moving on. This here is my Japanese Fender Hank Marvin Strat. Now, there's a couple of videos on the channel. I used to play this guitar like mad. This was my number one at one point. This Hank Marvin Japan Strat. Yeah, I think it's made in 1995. I'm the second owner of it. My dad again bought me this when I was very young. This was my first proper Fender guitar, and it was out in the newspaper, and I think my dad managed to haggle them down to the first owner who was selling it, which was an old man who never used to play it. Basically, haggled them down to £200, I think, at the time, which was a bargain for this kind of guitar. And there's only 500 of these made. So for people who used to collect these, you know, they would love this. And it probably still is worth something even today. But it's a great guitar, and I just see it as a great guitar, and I just see it as my first Fender guitar. And it is all original, even the pickups are. It has been refretted with medium jumbo frets because the original vintage frets worn out. I wore them out. I've had this guitar a long time. I've had it longer than that Red Bullet you first saw. So this is the longest guitar I've ever had. So I'll never get rid of this. I've kind of semi-retired it. Now, I don't really play it very often. The last time I played it is when I jammed with James Oliver in Nottingham. So I just got up and jammed a few 12-bar blues with him. And that is the last time I played it live. I played it live before, back in 2019, but it was something around that sort of time. But these days I don't really play it very often. But I do plan to take it out a bit more, but I'll never get rid of it. And I wouldn't say it's the best guitar, but it's not a rubbish guitar either. It's a really good guitar, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite now. I mean, it was my favourite back when I first got it, because it just blew me away. And it is a good guitar. These Japanese Fenders are really good guitars, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite guitar now. So, you know, it's got a few dents, and that's all me, you know. And the tuning pegs have been replaced in its time. And I do have some Wilkinson ones, which I'm planning to get installed on here. They're a bit better than these Chinese copies. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with these pegs, but I just want something a little bit better on it, I think. So I managed to get some Wilkinson ones for £10, proper Wilkinson vintage tuning pegs, 6 in a line, so they'll fit directly on. So yeah, that's that guitar. It does need a setup, not played it in a while, but there you go. It does sound quite good. So, and yeah, it's not a heavy guitar. We're gonna look at something now, which was cheap new. When I say cheap new, Aria Telecaster guitar, Wilko Johnson type of vibe. Absolutely fantastic guitar. Feels lovely. The neck just feels great. It's a nice satin neck. It had some cheaper tuning pegs on it. I've got some Grover black tuning pegs I bought off eBay, which are very solid. I think they come off some kind of I think a Gibson or some kind of EPS guitar. Anyway, they're really nice tuning pegs, and they just feel fantastic. Probably one of my favourite tuning pegs are Grovers. And yeah, it's got some strap locks on it. It's got a set of Vantero 50s Fender pickups. You will see videos when I change them and stuff, but I've still kept this guitar, and the reason why, again, it does get gigged a lot. It's been gigged a lot. It's been set up with 10s not too long ago. Just sounds great. Unplugged, always sounded good. Just felt really good. It's really light. It's really light guitar. Really good quality guitar. Aria make really good quality guitars. And again, we've come to the point where It doesn't matter where it's made. It's made in China, I believe, but I could be wrong. It might be made in Indonesia. Anyway, doesn't matter. It feels great. It looks quality, and it was what, 350 quid, brand new. And I actually bought this one I played in the music shop because this one felt amazing. And this is the one I wanted. I didn't want another one. If you would buy another one offline, it wouldn't be the same guitar. Anyway, so I've done a few little modifications to it, but there's just the tuning pegs and the pickups. And that's it. But fantastic guitar. Anyway, let's move on. So next, this was a Christmas present off my other half. And basically, it's a Mexican standard Strat, black logo one from 2016. So 2016, it's really mint. I bought it in person off a Canadian bloke, and it came with a hard case and a leather strap. I got rid of the leather strap because I'm all for, you know, looking after the animals, and I didn't fancy wearing leather. So this guitar is nice and light. It's the best feeling Mexican Strat I've ever experienced, I've ever played. These black logo ones are the best from my experience. These black logo ones, this is when they were really, really good. Now I'm just like, don't really get excited with newer Mexican stuff. I don't think it's as good, but it sounds really good. It's got 10s on it actually, but it sounds good. So yeah, all original pickups. Yeah, I mean, the best thing what they do today is the Fender Standards, which are made in Indonesia. They've kind of replaced this line. But this one's like a top sort of model because it's got the flame top, they call it. And it just looks really cool. This flame, you know, this flame finish. Yeah, and it's just a decent Sunburst Strat. It just feels amazing. It's one of them guitars where you could put any set of any gauge on it and it would just play wonderful. I've had 11s to 52 on this, and it played like it had 9s or 8s or something. Just played fantastic. I've also had 10s, and yeah, I've also had, you know, just a set of 11s to 48, but it's got 10s on at the moment. I might go back to the 11s when I need to restring it again, but it's got 10s. Yeah, it's got a lovely satin neck. It's what I like. I love the satin necks. It's a real nice neck. And yeah, the newer ones just don't feel as nice. So if you're going newer, you want something like this. This is a beautiful PRS Silver Sky. Now, I've played another PRS Silver Sky before. I played one, I think it was Dragon Fruit, that colour. Anyway, it wasn't as nice feeling. This neck, again, feels lovely. Very satin neck, and it feels like American made instrument, you know. The quality is there. I mean, the only thing I'd say you could probably get better, but not much better, maybe the tuning pegs. You could get USA tuning pegs, but they're not bad at all. So I was thinking about changing them out, the tuning pegs, but I've decided I like them still, and I'm going to keep them. So they're not going anywhere. So yeah, so this one is a real nice player. It's nice and light. The other one I tried was heavier than this. Yeah, I do believe that if you want a mid-range instrument and you want something which is going to be a good tool as a professional musician, this is something you need to get. I'd get this over a Fender now, I would definitely. And yeah, it's a great instrument. I don't use the bar on this Strat. I just have the trem locked down basically. But yeah, it's a fantastic guitar. Love the colour, and yeah, I love the weight and the feel of it, and I love the neck. Yeah, it's got 11s to 49 on it. So all my guitars are in E flat. So let's move on next to this. This is an early Fender Strat 70s headstock. It's a Squier, an early Squier, 1983. It's got the bullet truss rod, not the bullet truss rod, the tilt, the micro tilt at the back, and it's SQ, the serial number, 1983, and it's just one of them necks where it feels great as well. Feels great. It does feel really good quality. This guitar was in a right state when I first got it. I got it cheap because of that, but I've had it all done up, new scratch plate and everything, and it's got a new trem on it, Wilkinson one, which works fantastic. It's just a push-in bar, so I do use the bar on this one. It's got 11s on it now. It did have 10s on it. It's got 11 to 49 on it, and it sounds really good. I believe the body is ash. It's not a heavy guitar, it's quite light. Yeah, I mean, some of the 70s Strats were really heavy. This one's really nice and light. Some of the Japanese early stuff as well was heavy, so it's really, really nice. And I love it. I love the 70s headstock. It's different enough in my collection to own. And so when I got this, my whole Japan chase, chasing Fender Japanese Strats, when it went out the window as soon as I got this, because this is like the holy grail. It's like the closest thing I'd get to a JV, because I can't afford a JV, and to be honest, I don't really want to buy a JV because I play them. So if I buy a JV and it's mint, more than likely it's going to be a crap guitar and it's not a very good one, or more than likely I'm going to feel bad for taking it out and scratching it. So this one's a player's model really. So, and yeah, it's just getting loved, and it just plays fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Neck's fantastic. Everything about it. Yeah, it's got bare knuckles in it. So yeah, so this is one of the best, this is probably the best Japanese Strat I've ever played. I'm not just saying that, it definitely is. It's better than my red one, definitely. I know it says Squier on the headstock, but it's a definitely better feeling guitar as a whole. But there's nothing wrong with the red one either. So let's move on. So we're going to move on next to one of my latest purchases, and this is an Epiphone. There we go, DC's Les Paul Special type guitar. Again, a light guitar, and it's basically a brand new guitar. So it's got 11s on it. Plays nice. There we go. So, sounds good. Sounds better than a lot of Gibsons I've played and owned. I don't own any Gibsons anymore. My last Gibson I bought, which I thought was good at the time, you only know over time whether they are good, or when you take them out to a gig and play them, then you know how good the guitar really is. This is great. It's mind-blowing. It's really nice. It's comfortable, and it ticks the boxes for a Les Paul type thing. So yeah, there we go. So they're all my electric guitars I decided to keep, and I sold the rest, you know. So all the other ones I had on the channel, they've all gone, you know. These are the ones I own now, and these are the ones I've kept. And I do have one more I've bought. I have been tempted to buy others, but I've stopped myself. But I do have one more. I'm going to do a video on it when it comes, but that's just one more. And yeah, I got rid of, you know, obviously the Phoenix Les Paul and the Epiphone Junior. I got rid of that, and I've also sold the Floyd Strat, the Mexican one, because just it's a nice guitar, but just a bit of a headache, you know what I mean? And it wasn't as nice as that standard. I love that standard. So, and that was a Christmas present as well. So I can't sell that anyway, but I don't want to because it's really, really nice. In fact, I prefer that over my red Japanese Fiesta red Hank Marvin Strat. I prefer that. So it's probably one of my favourite Strats. And yeah, so there we go. And the pedals, again, these are the pedals I own. I do have a wah pedal on its way. I need a wah sometimes for the Hendrix stuff, so I've just got myself a brand new cheap wah from Amazon when I bought a Strat for this Epiphone. So yeah, so that's the gear really. I'll give you a quick look on the two pedal boards I own. I have thought about selling one of the pedal boards and just keeping one board, and yeah, but I think I'll keep the two boards. So I've kept my orange amp. I've had that years. I've tried other amps and they've just not done it for me, and I've always gone back to the orange amp, and I've not sold the orange amp. Thank God I didn't sell it, because it is a really nice amp and it does everything I need. So this is the smaller pedal board, which does the job. The Green Screamer has been my best tube screamer I've ever tried. I love it. Yeah, I had one when I first started the channel. So this here is a Line 6. It's a digital drive. Again, sounds really good. And this is what, early 2000s, so they were doing decent digital drives back then, and it sounds fantastic. It's a bit bulky, but it still sounds great, and it's better than the Boss one, in my opinion, the vintage Boss one I had, which is, you know, it's a similar pedal. It's took after the feedbacker distortion pedal I had. And then this is a great reverb pedal, gives you some great spring, and then there's a great little tuner. So that's the board. That's a smaller board running on a Harley Benson power supply. Then this is a bigger board, which again is slightly bigger pedals, but a fantastic board, fantastic pedals. So yeah, that's one of my favourite delays. Digital delay there. Again, fantastic there. Fantastic fuzz pedal. And Mindbender is my favourite chorus pedal. And yeah, I've kept these. My favourite Big Muff pedal is the Russian one. Yeah, so that's that board. So that's that board there. So I do have two of the pedals in the drawer, the Boss FZ1, and then I have the the pedal what was given to me is like a boost sort of pedal. After that, I sold all the other pedals on. There's nothing else in the drawer now apart from those two pedals, and yeah, I've got the wah on its way. And it's a cheap wah, but it's a volume pedal as well. It does both. Looks good, so we'll try it out anyway. If I don't like it, I can always send it back because it's Amazon. Bought it brand new, and I bought it with a strap as well. So that's it. I just wanted to give you an update really on the gear, on the stuff I sold, and the stuff I've kept. And I've not kept lots, you know, but there is some gear I've actually kept, and I've kept it for a long time now, and I've generally kept it because it's so good, you know, simple as that. And I don't want to be collecting loads and loads of equipment I'm not going to use. And also just wanted to give you an update on the market really, that things are devaluing all the time, and you might be best to sell your gear now before it devalues even more, before it's too late. So depending how much you paid for it as well, you know, obviously, but or you might like it and you might use it. So comment below if you use a piece of equipment which you did think about selling, but now you use it a lot, you know, live. Comment below. I'd love to hear your story. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on my new PRS, which I've bought, and I think you will like it, and I hope that I like it. And if I don't like it, then, you know, it'll go back to the shop, you know what I mean? I bought it from a company. So yeah, so there you go. I've got a Blackstar ID Core 20 watt modeling amp, which I always use. Again, I can't sell that because that was a present to me as well, and it is a good practice amp. You know, I have been tempted to buy other stuff, but I'm just not interested. It doesn't matter how cheap it is. I'm just really not that interested anymore. I do like to hear people's story about gear and stuff, but really don't get sucked into it, because you're going to lose a lot of money. I'm telling you, the way things are, it's just terrible. So like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, it's not been all depressing, but yeah, it's just the way it is, you know, just the way it is. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll keep you updated. All right, thank you very much.